History is in the books as the Dolphins, formerly known as the Redcliffe Dolphins, have officially now debuted in the NRL, doing what nobody thought could be done, except me, and that is beating one of the season's Premiership heavyweights in their debut. The Dolphins knocking off the Sydney Roosters 28-18 at Suncorp Stadium. It was almost the best performance of round one. Shout out to Kevy Walters. Now look, I could sit back and say I was shocked, but in reality, it was kind of what I expected. But ladies and gentlemen, before we get our metaphorical balls deep into this video today, I need you all to smash that like button if you do enjoy the video. Subscribe if you have not already, and drop a comment down below. Who do you think was the best player for the Dolphins in round one, and are they any chance of playing finals footy in 2023? So obviously I am the only rugby league legend to have chipped the Dolphins in round one, and this is the last time I'll mention that in this video. Probably not. But I think we all expected a typical Wayne Bennett coaching performance similar to Game 3 of State of Origin in 2020, and that is exactly how the Dolphins played on Sunday. Effort and aggression are the two keys for the Dolphins in 2023, playing in front of a sold-out Suncorp Stadium for the home ground crowd, and a round one side against the Roosters, who are notorious for slow starts. It created the perfect storm, the perfect opportunity for the Finns. Now, while I obviously will not be changing any of my predictions after round one, this could provide the Dolphins with one of the all-time confidence boosts, because no matter how they lose or how many times they lose in a row, the Dolphins can always look back on this performance and know that with the effort they showed against the Roosters, they can knock off any team in this competition, especially early on in this season. Almost every single team looks clunky in round one this past weekend, even those sides that got the W. So if the Dolphins can put in that type of effort and keep up that aggression for the next month or so, then the Finns fans can start getting excited. But there is still a long way to go, so let's focus on what we know right now about the NRL's newest side. And first of all, Jeremy Marshall-King is an absolute gun. Now, I'm not saying he's the next Benji of hookers. He works on King's Cross. But seriously, I know we all talk about how underrated JMK is, because how he has been a shining light for a struggling Bulldog side for years now. And unfortunately, he will probably be part of another non-finals side in 2023, but he is a number 9 that Wayne can keep a hold of for the next 5 years, if not longer. In my opinion, he is a player who's not going to break the bank, at least for this moment, but I could see him being at the Dolphins long term and really providing this team that dummy half that could push him into the top 8, potentially even the top 4, and maybe even a Premiership contender. There were a ton of standouts for the Dolphins. I was pretty critical of Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow, but he was incredible as well. I thought he may have to slide into the centres, maybe even the wing for a bit before he moved to fullback full-time. Those questions were put to bed because the Hammer put in a great performance. No matter how he plays the Dolphins, we don't expect them to do well in 2023. So this could play into their hands. They could keep this young spine going forward, and I think Hamiso Tabuai-Fidow can finally turn into the player we all expected him to be when he debuted for the Cowboys all those years ago. He was one of the best on field for me as well. There were so many good plays for the Dolphins, but I can't go past man of the match, Felice Kaufusi, winding back the clock. Honestly, out of the Bromwich boys, him, Tom Gilbert, and all these older forwards, he was probably the one I was expecting to fall off the most, with the greatest respect, but he was putting Brandon Smith in the dirt. He was absolutely unstoppable, causing havoc down that left edge for the Roosters, which was honestly the best thing I think the Dolphins had. They kind of completely outclassed the Roosters in this game. The Daniel Tupou try was the only real try the Roosters scored. They had the horror of the kickoff, which led to the Drew Hutchinson try. But then the Suoliti try as well, that was just a one-on-one contest that fell to the luck side for the Roosters. The Dolphins played absolutely out of their skin. There are tons of things to be excited about for the Dolphins. It wouldn't surprise me if they played the exact same team next week. I thought Ewan Aiken, Jermaine Asako, Tessie New, they all played out of their skin. That forward pack as well, Mark Nichols, he looked as deadly as he did during that Rabbitohs 2021 finals run. I would probably prefer to see him start over Jared Wallace, and the game time shows that while Nichols was on the bench, he's probably the more in favour front rower. But if they want to play Nichols as an impact player, then I'm all for it. Lemmy Lemu, number 18 for the Dolphins. Sorry if I mispronounced that name. He ran straight over Sam Walker. He had a terrific try, which pretty much was the dagger for this game. So many great performances. Nichols ran for 174 metres. Asako ran for 184. Didn't have Asako anywhere near my starting 17 for the Dolphins, but he, winding back the clock, looking like the man who took the fullback spot from Darius Boyd all those years ago at the Broncos. The Dolphins, they're still very young. I still don't have them higher anywhere but the bottom four, but what we learn is that Wayne Bennett can have this side up on any day to cause an upset. They have a ton of young guns, and this forward pack is going to lead this side into the new generations. There's plenty to be excited about for the Dolphins in 2023. As for the Roosters, I mean, people want to write them off already, similar to Penrith. Stop putting your red pens, put it away. The Roosters always do this. Last year, they lost to the Newcastle Knights, who many tipped for the spoon in round one. Years before that, they lost to Penrith. They lost to the West Tigers without James Tedesco in his debut game. So, not much to be concerned about for the Roosters fans. Like I said, it was the perfect storm for the Dolphins to get the ambush round one victory, and that is exactly what they did. All I'm saying is, don't expect the Dolphins to do too much. I mean, who knows? Wayne Bennett, maybe he can sustain this for the entire season, but I just don't think they have the cattle just yet. But I think that young Katoa, JMK, the Hammer, they can be vital pieces for this competition, for this side going forward. And I just think the Dolphins played absolutely incredible. And not to toot my own horn again, but it is sort of what I expected. Ladies and gentlemen, if you did enjoy this video, please smash that like button. Drop a comment down below. Are the Dolphins any chance of playing finals footy in 2023? And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I promise we're getting back to a consistent upload schedule soon. I promise. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Do the big three, and I'll see you in the next one.